Well, it's time to go rallycross racing once again in 2011, the first round of the European Championship here at Little Hill in Kent. It's an absolutely beautiful weekend in one of the most beautiful settings in Europe for a rallycross circuit. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The crowds are flocking in. All the top drivers are here from all over Europe, and this is the man they all want to knock off that top spot. Number one from last year, Sverre Isaksen from Norway, with the first stop forward.
The goal is the European champion again, of course. That is what we go for.
What did you change on the car?
A little bit suspension and some small secret, and we're waiting for a new engine now, so I think that is ready for Norway. There's a lot of good guys now. You have Liam, of course, is there. You have Ludvig, a new car. You have Frode Holte. You have a lot of guys now, so it will be a very hard fight this year. I can promise that.
Well, he's had a very hard fight the last couple of years as well. He was champ 2 years ago last year, so he's looking for 3 in a row this year. If anyone can do it, the big guy from Norway definitely can. We're on board here with some of his practice laps before we get to the first heats. But as we say, the first stop forward from last year from Norway just was absolutely fantastic. One man who really tried hard last year, one of the team cars, one of 2 team cars as well. This is Andreas Eriksson from Sweden. He always drives with his tongue out. I'm amazed that he never actually bites it off. Let's get a few words from Andreas.
We have a little problem to get new guys coming in behind, and the Norwegians doesn't have that problem. So yeah, it's happy for them, but I think if we have some good successes, and I think people are more looking into rallycross now, so I think it will be good. We have done the small improvements, making everything play well together, and it looks like we are faster this year, and everything's to be fine, but it's a long way to go.
How is the American Series going?
It's going well. It's really, really fun, and it's really tough. So yeah, I think it's fine, and it takes a while to build something up, but what we have done now so far has been great, and on really short notice, so we're happy.
Yeah, well, the team car is Tanner Faust, along with Andreas Eriksson. Tanner is from America. Obviously, you can see the Rockstar car right next to it. We'll see that in a little while. But Andreas Eriksson hoping for much bigger and better things in 2011. Always at the top, always very, very consistent, but just seems to get nipped at the finish line quite a few times. So, as you can see, the track out there, in practice, really quite dusty, to be honest with you. This man here, Liam Duran, did actually take a series win last year. He's part of a 2-car team with Kenneth Hansen. Kenneth's not going to be driving in 2011. It's going to be Liam and a new teammate, and let's hear from him.
Last year was a learning year. This year you have to do it?
Yeah, a little bit more pressure this year, because last year I had the excuse that I was my first year and I was learning all the way through the year, but I learnt a lot and I got a lot faster through the year, and by the end of the year I was one of the fastest. So just want to start this year the same way, and yeah, learning year's gone now. This is the year it's all got to happen, so I've got to do what I can. There's a home disadvantage because there's too much pressure, but I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to do what I can. It would be lovely if I can get a good result here in front of a home crowd and a home event, but like I say, I'm here to not to win events now, to win championships, so I'll do what I have to win the championship.
Well, he won events last year as well. That's Liam Duran in the number 3 Citroen, but his new teammate, replacing Kenneth Hansen behind the wheel of his car effectively in the supercar class for this season, is going to be Timur Timojanov from Russia, would you believe. He was champ in the Super 1600s last year, did very, very well indeed, but what a steep learning curve he's got. This is his car here, the number 21 Citroen C4. This car has got a fantastic pedigree in the hands of Kenneth Hansen, and I'm sure Timur, with all his experience from last year, isn't going to be phased at all.
Last year I finished on the first place in Division 1A, and I decided I need to go upper, or it's so much difference, because there I can do, after this car there you can drive just relax, just shoot driving, and you don't need to do any big things, but here you need to think every time, and the car is giving some surprising for you.
Well, a big step up in performance, big step up in class and money as well for Timur Timojanov. He did very, very well indeed last season down in the Super 1600s, or Division 1A as it was. And let's see how he can do this summer in European Rallycross. Being teammate of Liam Duran, he's got a great chance. So, out on the line for Heat 1, that was Tanner Faust from America with a Rockstar car. This is his teammate, Andreas Eriksson. all getting set to go. He's got his tongue in for a nice change. Liam Duran here with one of the Citroens. Liam has had a bit of a torrid off-season. We may come to that in a minute. And his teammate as well, Tima Timojanov. So this is the first heat with 2 team cars in it as well. 4 cars going to be screaming down to that first bend at legendary Lydden Hill in Kent, and it looks like it is Tanner Faust out there in front. I do believe that was Liam Duran going for his joker lap early on, and Andreas Eriksson squeezing to second. Timojanov is in third at the moment. There goes Liam Duran. Now, just to explain once again that the whole idea of Rallycross, it's 4 laps, and one of those laps you have to go on what's called a joker lap, which is an extra part of the circuit. And the whole idea is to add a little bit of Russian roulette into it, if you like, which should help Tima Timojanov being Russian. And so the idea is normally whoever gets the best start screams off into the distance, nips in for their joker lap on the last lap, whereas if whoever it is doesn't get quite a good start, case in point Liam Duran, and there goes Andreas Eriksson round on his joker lap as well. And the whole idea is by the time the last lap comes round, it really does shake up the order. Let's see if Liam Duran can get round in front of Andreas Eriksson, and he gets round beside him. Andreas Eriksson keeps that third spot. Now, don't forget, these 2 have already been on their joker lap, so the other 2 out front, Tanner Faust, who is in the lead at the moment, and Tima Timojanov is right behind him, haven't been on their joker lap yet. This Lydden Hill circuit in Kent is a very, very fast one indeed. All the drivers absolutely love it. Look at that, Liam Duran down the grass and absolutely all over the place, trying to get past, desperately trying to get past Andreas Eriksson. Not happening, coming down the hill. And like we said, very, very fast circuit, but not necessarily the best for overtaking on the European circuit, but the racing is so good as well. Oh, and Timojanov spins on his joker lap. He actually took that there, and unfortunately spins out, so he's got to correct that, get back out on the racetrack. He's not going to really finish in a good position after that. Tanner Faust is still way out there in front. We're concentrating on the battle for second between Andreas Eriksson and Liam Duran, 2 of the more aggressive drivers on the circuit, if you will. Andreas Eriksson really, really does go for it every single time. I remember when Tanner Faust started driving the car for him last year, he kept saying to him, you've got to be more aggressive all the time, and that's exactly how Andreas Eriksson drives. So, the last lap, Tanner Faust goes for his joker lap. Can he get round that extra part of the race circuit? Oh, Timojanov did not rejoin, so he's actually out of it. And Tanner Faust comes out in second behind his teammate Andreas Eriksson, would you believe? So Tanner, what can he do? Can he pressurise his teammate? Liam Duran is a huge surprise in third place. Looks like Tanner Faust on the in-car there has actually got Andreas Eriksson going up the hill on the inside. And Andreas Eriksson comes back round, pushes back round the inside as well. Who's going to get the drop down the hill? And it is past the paddock. Tanner Faust is still out there in front. What an excellent driving job for him. And round to take the checkered flag, it's Tanner Faust in first place, Andreas Eriksson second, Liam Duran third. Well, if that is a taste of things to come, it's going to be an absolutely cracking event and a cracking season as well. Tanner Faust with the Ford Fiesta takes first, Eriksson in second. Well, let's take a look at that passing manoeuvre again and get some words from the man himself, Tanner Faust.
Tanner, you beat your team boss.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. We've got new engine packages and everything in these. Mountoon is doing an amazing job, and so we're feeling a lot of things out. And coming up the hill in the last run, I just got a better run on him, and he maybe had a little misfire or something, and so I sneaked inside him there. But hopefully, it didn't cost either of us too much time.
Well, very gracious in victory, Tanner Faust there, but a man who can't be too happy with third after that really, well, he's hoped to do a lot better this season. There's that overtaking manoeuvre from Tanner Faust again, but you see behind him Liam Duran. You wouldn't expect the Citroen driver to be in third in the first heat of the year. So hopefully he's going to step up from that, and let's get some thoughts from Liam.
Liam, was there a way to pass Andreas?
If there was a way, I think I would have found it. I looked everywhere, but safely, I don't think there was a way to get past him. I think if it was a bit more dangerous, there was a way, but it's not worth it. It's the first heat of the event, and I could have probably got past if I'd taken more risk, but I also could have made a big mistake and had a crash. So I tried what I could, and then I had to settle to stay there in the end, so never mind.
Well, he really did put up a fight, to say the least, right down the outside. And Andreas Eriksson moved over, as obviously every right to, as he has the race in line. Liam Duran ruining some of the grass here at Lydden Hill, but that's what racing is all about, and I'm sure he does have another couple of qualifying heats to get up there for the final, so he's got plenty more chances to go. This is Sverre Isaksson wearing the big number 1 on the side of the first stop Ford. Great to see all his sponsors returning for this year. This is Marc Leboulle from France, another man with a Citroën. Ludwig Hunsbeth, new for him for this year in a Volvo. We saw one of these with Frode Holter last year. This is Thomas Häkkinen from Finland, driving the Saab, and on the inside gate it is Sverre Isaksson, gets away to a lightning start. Thomas Häkkinen takes the long way round straight away, and second place at the moment. Right behind Sverre Isaksson is from France, Marc Leboulle, and a couple of drivers going on their Joker lap already. Ludwig Hunsbeth and Thomas Häkkinen. Third at the moment is Renault Munich, but the 3 out front have not taken their Joker lap. Really nice new Volvo there, and we're on board as well with Ludwig Hunsbeth with the Volvo C30. Frode Holter had a lot of success when the car finally showed up last year in the summer, and Frode is here this weekend as well, so we can actually get to compare the two. For the moment, it's that man who was virtually unstoppable last year, both Kenneth Hansen and Michael Jernberg, who is sadly missing this weekend. He's gone to race in America. So Michael Jernberg, all that success has netted him a drive in America, and sadly he's not here with us. But Sverre Isaksson's still got plenty of people to butt heads here with all summer. Well, that was on board again with Ludwig. Sverre is out there in front. Second there, Marc Leboulle. Third, Renault Munich. And there's Thomas Häkkinen with the older style Saab, if you will, prepared and owned by rally legend Per Eklund. Per does also race one of these cars occasionally in European Rallycross. For the moment, like I said, those 2 drivers out back, or hanging out back for the minute, have done their Joker lap. The 2 up front, that's Marc Leboulle right there. Marc normally competes in the incredibly competitive French National Rallycross Championship, but for this year decided to step up one more and take on the big dogs of the European circuit. It doesn't mean that the homegrown talent isn't vicious, because obviously it really is. He's a very, very good driver indeed, with a very, very well prepared race car. But Sverre Isaksson, you know, if you want to do well in Europe, to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and Sverre definitely is one of those. So really nice driving job for Sverre Isaksson as well out there in front. Lydden Hill normally traditionally is one of the middle rounds of the European Championship. This summer the FIA set the calendar, and they set Lydden Hill to be round 1 over the Easter weekend, and what a glorious weekend it was. So Sverre goes on his Joker lap this time round, as it is the last lap. He does have to do it, followed by Renault Munich. Let's see if he can get out in front of Thomas Häkkinen. I have a feeling he can. There's quite a big gap there, to be honest with you. Both Sverre Isaksson get out in front, and just Marc Leboulle does exactly the same thing. Thomas Häkkinen with the older Saab still doing very, very well indeed. And fourth at the moment, a little bit distant with the brand new Volvo, is Ludwig Hunsbeth. And bringing up the rear, I was going to say, talking about distant, is Renault Munich right back there with the little Skoda. We are going to miss the Skoda of Michael Jernberg this summer, but Renault Munich's here and a couple of others as well to make up the Skoda numbers, if you like. So, first win of the season for the defending champ, Sverre Isaksson. Second, Marc Leboulle, and third was Thomas Häkkinen. There he is out there in front, number 1 and number 1, both sides there. Marc Leboulle second, Thomas Häkkinen third, Ludwig Hunsbeth fourth. First race with the new car, and Renault Munich with the Skoda Fabia down there at 5th. So the big guy did very, very well indeed. I'm sure he's going to be as happy as he always is.
It's a perfect start. First time in time practice and first time in the heat, so the start is very good. So, but we have some problem with the car, and but just a little bit worried for that. So we will see what we're doing this evening. The engine was pushing off all the water, so we have 120 degrees on the water, so we have a little bit of work to do.
Well, Sverre Isaksson won that in a cruise, to be honest with you. His whole team very, very experienced and pretty much expert at this whole thing. There we go. Guess where we are? We're in England for this weekend. So this is the first time we're going to be seeing the Super 1600s. This is Andreas Bakkerud from Norway. And Ulrik Linnemann there lining up from Denmark. really tough heat this one is going to be. These cars used to be Division 1A last year. 1600 front-wheel drive cars, no turbos or anything else as well. Out there in front at the moment with that blue and orange Clio. That is Andreas Bakkerud. He's going to be a team driver this summer with Idar Rakhmatulin, and it was Rakhmatulin and Timoshanov that butted heads in this class all season last year. So the number 10 going round right behind him there, that's Ulrich Linnemann, excuse me, from Denmark. Boy, these guys do come an awful long way to race in European rallycross. The traditional tripod, 3 wheels around the top bend here at Lydden, but it is out in front once again, Andreas Bakkerud. Now, Andreas was very, very good last year, every race that he turned up for. And the thing is that he's very, very hotly tipped. Now he's got a great car to drive and a team car as well. He's going for his Joker lap right now, very closely followed by Ulrich Linnemann. The other 2 drivers in this, Andrei Smetanov and Zeb Max Cernak, have already been on their Joker laps. So out in front still, once again, is Andreas Bakkerud from Norway. The Norwegians really, really do love their rallycross, and they produce some fantastic drivers, hence the championship driver in what is now Supercars. So in second place there, with the Skoda right behind him is Zdeněk Šermak. He's from the Czech Republic and taking the checkered flag quite a long way out there, I think, to be honest with you. Andreas Bakkerud, great job for the little Clio. So he finishes first, Zdeněk Šermak second, Ulrich Linnemann third, and a little bit of a distant thought, Andrei Smetanov with the little Ford Puma. And we got more Super 1600 action coming your way. Lining up right there, the number 16 of Christian Petrakovic. He's from Austria, and he's going to be lining up against Anders Hansen from Norway. That's Anders sitting in the car there. And rest of the heat is Idar Rakhmatulin. You'll notice the car because it's a team car to Andreas Bakkerud, and Stanislav Suster from the Czech Republic as well. Well, look at that. Both VWs butting heads literally going into that first bend, taking their Joker lap. Surprisingly early, actually. Idar Rakhmatulin is out there, and he comes out in third place. So these 2 cars, Christian Petrakovic and the number 26 of Anders Hansen from Norway, scream out there in front. As I said before, the whole idea with the heats is to set up the A, B and C finals later on in the race weekend. You can see a big crowd here at Lydden Hill this weekend. The weather has been absolutely fantastic the whole way through. Well, fantastic if you like really nice, dry, warm, sunny weather, which is somewhat unusual for England in the middle of April, but we'll take it anyway. So out there in front, Petrakovic takes his Joker lap right now. Let's see if the other 2 right behind him, so that'll be Rakhmatulin and Anders Hansen, can catch him and pass him or not. Here comes Rakhmatulin, but no! Unbelievably, Christian Petrakovic gets out there in front. Well, what a big surprise, actually. Idar Rakhmatulin from Russia. Like I said, the team car to Andreas Bakkerud that we saw just a moment ago take the quite easy win, to be honest with you. Not getting it done here against the little VWs. They were really, really cool little cars, those ones. And the Citroen in second and another VW in third as well. So barring any unfortunate incidents, this looks like how it's going to finish. At the moment, yep, checkered flag for Christian Petrakovic from Austria. Great effort for him with the VW Polo. Rakhmatulin second, maybe even problems as well. Anders Hansen third, and Stanislav Suster from the Czech Republic finished fourth. Okay, we're lining up Heat 2, or the first race in Heat 2 we're going to be showing you here for the Supercars. And, well, that's Michael de Keersmaker. We last saw him at the end of the year, unfortunately be disqualified for a technical infraction, but he's back and trying again this time round. Oh, and he's getting squeezed out. Look at that. Well, what a big coming together on the first bend there. The number 13 car and Michael de Keersmaker going straight on there. That was Pavel Kutny taking him out as well. At the moment, the number 21 car is Timur Timoshanov. He's out there in front. Well, first bend bunching or not, as the case may be. They all decided to go for their Joker lap at the same time, and they all squeezed each other out. That was, well, not the greatest start to that heat. But Timoshanov doing a much better job this time round. There's Michael de Keersmaker still going round, but I think he's going to be some way down the order after that incident. He's going to be a very, very distant placing after that, sadly. Yeah, but at the moment, out there in front still doing great in the second heat. Timojanov, that was Frank Valle you saw going on his Joker lap there. At the moment, Timojanov really is streaking out in front of everybody else, but that first bend incident really put pay to, well, 3 out of 5 cars' chances of getting anywhere near the front of the field. This run really is a walk for Timojanov. He still does have to do his Joker lap, so there is a good chance that, well, there's a chance, not a good chance necessarily, that Frank Valle is going to be able to catch him when he does that. But here he comes this time round. He will, no, I beg your pardon, he's still got one more lap to go after this. But making it look quite easy so far is Timojanov. Michael de Keersmaker, again, right down the order. He did have a very sad end to the year last year, but he's a very, very good driver and should be up there in the championship again this year. So, nice shots of him screaming down the hill here at Lydden Hill. Round from the tarmac part of the circuit onto the shale, which is very dry and dusty this weekend. The track crew do water it to try and keep it down a bit, but obviously it still gets dry very quickly in the heat. In the heat, not something you normally say in Great Britain at this time of year. But there you go. Timojanov does his Joker lap and still comes out there, well, quite a few seconds in front of Frank Valle. And this really is for time and pride now for Timojanov. Getting a hang of driving the Citroen pretty well, to be honest with you. He did say in the interview earlier on that there's a lot more to do in the car, and it really does take a lot more driving. It's obviously a lot faster as well. But he's going to be taking his first ever checkered flag in a supercar. There we go. And it is Citroen on top of the board after that one. Frank Valle second. And Michael de Keersmaker a very distant fourth after that first bend incident. Well, we do have more supercars coming your way. As I mentioned before, they were called Division 1 last year. Same cars, really. New name. We always called them supercars anyway, because they are absolutely fantastic. Turbo, 2 litre, over 500 horsepower. Lining up this time around. Oh, Mark LeBall stalls on the line. Doesn't go anywhere at all. That's Liam Duran with the Citroen into the first bend first. And, well, he's going to be followed out. Look at that. They're taking their Joker lap straight away. That is Tanner Faust. And closing the door on him at the moment, doing his lad a favour. That's Pat Duran, Liam's dad. So Liam drives for the Citroen team. And Pat, a privateer, but still a very, very good driver indeed. Obviously, it was him that brought his son on and into the sport as well. Pat used to race, well, he's raced for many, many years. I remember seeing Pat in a fantastic Ford RS200. And really keeping Tanner Faust at bay at the moment. The higher funded Rockstar team, you can actually see the wheel rubbing on the bodywork for Tanner Faust. I'm not sure whether that's because he's had a dink or it just does that normally, in all honesty. But Pat Duran really is keeping the door closed at the moment. He's letting his boy get well out there in front, putting some great lap times. And Tanner Faust trying absolutely everything. Goes up the inside of Pat Duran. What an overtaking move. But Pat Duran looks like he's come round the outside of him again. Gone the short way round, but Tanner Faust closes the door firmly. Oh, look at that, and Pat goes up the inside again. Well, you can see where Liam got his driving skills from, can't you? Because that was almost exactly the same thing that Liam was doing in the earlier heat against Andreas Eriksson. Oh, and Pat Duran's door comes off as well. The bonnet flapping in the breeze, the front bumper going as well. My goodness, what a race. That's a proper knockdown, drag-out race between the two of these guys. And Pat Duran now has air conditioning in the car. So, Tanner Faust is second, we have to say. Liam Duran is that much in front. He's a whole straightaway in front of these two. Still has to do his Joker lap. And Tanner Faust clearly with the faster car. He does actually have a faster car than Pat Duran, but obviously Pat had the track position, which was the most important thing. Kept him at bay for a little while. And Liam, well, Liam, his son, is making the most of that, so it could well be another heat win in this second set of heats for a Citroen driver. His teammate Timojanov, yeah, not even close. As long as he gets around here and doesn't do what Timojanov did in the first heat, which was spin out and end up looking in the opposite direction, he should be absolutely fine. There, on board with Liam, you can see him shifting through the gears, driving as fast as he possibly can. Round the bottom bend and towards up the hill. He's got a big gap between him and Tanner Faust. You can see the very little cute looking wing mirrors on the car as well. They do take the occasional look in those, but only to see who they're bumping into most of the time. But Liam coming down the hill, and he's got no other Ford drivers in the way or to battle with this time. So he goes over the line first. There you go, checkered flag for him. Tanner Faust really did catch up quite well, not too far in second. Pat Duran third, and Mark LeBeau didn't even make it off the line in that heat, unfortunately, for that Citroen driver. So he ends up fourth. Well, we're going to hear from Tanner Faust about that battle he had with Pat Duran. That was cool.
I think I just made a bad decision going into the Joker. It looked like they both were going straight, and as soon as I moved over to the Joker, Pat came in front of me, and he said he had a bit of a problem in the Joker, so he's a little slow through there. But I made a little bit of a brave pass, but yeah, so that heat was gone right away.
Well, it really was a great race between these two. You can see Tanner Faust and Pat Duran going toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel, bodywork to bodywork, and Ford-to-Ford as well. And up the hill, Tanner Faust just out-drag raced him into that corner up there. But it really was a good race. If you like what you saw in this half of the show, please join us again for all the finals from all the classes. Well, welcome back to a beautifully sunny Lydden Hill in Kent in England. This is Sverre Isaksson. We're getting towards lining up for the finals in this half of the show. And Mats Leeson, new car for him this year, teammate to Stig Olaf Wolfsson. That's Stig Olaf in the Helmia Clio. He's right next to Mats Leeson. In this race as well, we've got Ludwig Hunsbeth as well. And Sverre Isaksson comes across the front of the two cars, both of those Clios. And Sverre Isaksson looks like he's stopped, got a problem. So Stig Olaf Wolfsson keeps going right behind him, Mats Leeson. And, well, what a start to that. Let's have a look at that again. Sverre Isaksson cuts across in front of Mats Leeson. And I think that was just one of those racing incidents things. They both were not going to give any ground. And let's look at it from behind. Yes, Sverre Isaksson definitely turned left across the front of Mats Leeson. And, well, that was the end of him. He actually is out. Red flags are out as well. So, because of that incident, I think that's because Sverre is stuck on that first corner. What a surprise.
I was fast from the start, and suddenly my car started the other way on the start there. So Leeson and Stig Olaf Wolfsson pushed me on the wheel, and then everything was broken on the left side in the front. So, but the guys is working now, so we go for the third, and that will be hard, but you know, I'm not giving up.
Well, slow-mo with that again. You can see Sverre Isaksson turning left across the front of the two little Renaults. Once again, I think that was a bit 6-1/2 dozen the other that time round, actually. But it is amazing what the drivers see and what we see on the replays. So we're lining up. We're now into Heat 3, setting up for the A, B and C finals. Ludwig Hunsbeth, there he is with his new Volvo. He's alongside Frode Holter from Norway. Now, Frode did actually get this car finished last year and did pretty well every time he showed up. On the inside there, that's Davy Genet going straight into the first bend. Well, around the outside that time. Look at that once again. Was that Pat Duran going straight on again? I do believe it was, actually. And Frode Holter keeps going. It's Davy Genet out in front at the moment. Ludwig Hunsbeth with that new Volvo. Did actually race the similar car to Sverre Isaksson last year. He had a Ford Focus. This year, the car of choice for him is that really, really cool-looking Volvo. And so far this weekend, he seems to be keeping out of trouble as well, which is nice. Probably doesn't want to bang up his new race car. So, Davy Genet, another one of those guys that comes from the incredibly competitive French Rallycross series, showing us just how tough all the French guys are. So he's out in front at the moment. Second, right behind him, is Ludwig Hunsbeth. And somewhere back there is Frode Holter, but we can't even see him in the same shot. He has taken his Joker lap, but he is quite some way back after Pat Duran spun out on his Joker lap there, probably being a bit too eager once again. Sorry, not probably being a bit too easy. That's easy for me to say. I'm only watching, but he's obviously trying very, very hard indeed. And sadly for him, it ended out in the dust. So there's Frode Holter with the blue and white Volvo from Norway. Really, really nice looking race car. Well, when it's not banged up quite like that, to be honest with you. Davy Genet doing a great job at the minute. Still out there in front. One more lap to go, and then these two right here have got to come in for their Joker lap. And the Joker lap not quite mixing it up as much as it normally does here at Linnemann Hill. But we've still got all the finals and everything to look forward to. The way they come out is they come out on the run in the heats, and the guys with the quickest times go to the front of the A-Final, and then it's through down to the B-Final and C-Final as well. If you win the C-Final, you get put forward to the back of the grid for the B-Final, and then obviously the big one is the A-Final, and they gain points throughout the year for how they do in every round and every race. That's why you see some drivers not too upset with finishing second or third somewhere, because they know next time they're going to get them and they're going to get the win. So both those guys going for their Joker laps. And Frode Holter, oh, look at that, wheel to wheel, two Volvos going at it, one blue and one green, and trading paint. They both got a bit of paint from each other. Hunsbeth nudges Frode Holter just out that little bit in his Volvo, and Frode Holter is now third. Oh, and a quick nudge up the backside as well by the looks of that. And Frode's actually trying to go round on the inside. Let's see that move again from the outside. And Ludwig Hunsbeth goes wide on the top bend here at Linnemann Hill. Frode Holter's got the drop on him coming down, and he's got the racing line. It looks like Ludwig Hunsbeth's going to have to yield, and he does. Well, oblivious to all of that, out there in front is Davies. You know, what a great race for second that was. And Frode Holter takes that. Ludwig Hunsbeth third, and Pat Durand sadly didn't finish at all. But what a really excellent battle between Frode Holter and Ludwig Hunsbeth. So next up, more heats before we get to those finals. Liam Duran in the Citroen, Tanner Faust with the Rockstar Ford from America, Thomas Häkkinen with Per Eklund's really indecently quick Saab, and that's Andreas Eriksson. Who gets the drop into the first bend? Well, the two guys on the outside. That's Andreas Eriksson behind Thomas Häkkinen at the moment. Well, he's really going to have a tiger on his tail for the rest of the race, to be honest with you, because Andreas Eriksson really does not give up and goes as hard as he possibly can. Tanner Faust out there in front at the moment, just that little bit in front of Liam Duran. And Liam up the hill, dives up the inside, gets round the inside of Tanner Faust. What an overtaking manoeuvre. I don't think Tanner's actually... No, he's not. Couple of bumps and Tanner is not going to be able to take that position back. So for the minute, it is Liam Duran out there running in first. Nice overtaking manoeuvre as well. Well, there's me saying that Linnemann Hill doesn't show much overtaking. We've had a lot of it this afternoon. Obviously, it just depends how aggressive the guys want to be. So Liam Duran leads. Look at that. He's got Tanner Faust right on his bumper the whole way around. I think Andreas Eriksson's team really have. And he's overtaken him as well. Tanner Faust has gone back round Liam Duran. Well, those guys are going to be so tough this summer. They seem to have found some tremendous extra horsepower in those 2-litre Ford turbo engines. And obviously, both of them working really, really well. So Tanner Faust is out in front. Liam Duran second. I couldn't quite see from that shot who was running third there, to be honest with you, but I'm sure we'll see him in just a moment. But both Tanner and Liam haven't been for their Joker laps just yet. It's Thomas Häkkinen, I beg your pardon. So obviously Andreas Eriksson tailed off a bit at the back. Liam Duran decides to take the long way around this time right now. And Thomas Häkkinen, by the look of it, Thomas Häkkinen actually takes Liam Duran quite easily by some margin. So Tanner out in front with the Rockstar Ford is in the lead at the moment. He hasn't taken his Joker lap. The other two behind him have. And for the moment as well, that is a big shock. Liam Duran is being headed by Thomas Häkkinen at the moment. It looks like Andreas Eriksson has actually disappeared. We can't even see him in the distance at the back there, sadly. So he must have a problem. Tanner Faust having his photograph taken, coming round that bend there. So this time round, he has to take the long way round. Let's see if Thomas Häkkinen can take Tanner Faust up the inside, and he does as well. Thomas Häkkinen takes Tanner Faust, and Liam Duran, let's see if Liam can do it as well. No, Tanner closes the door, but what a superb effort for Thomas Häkkinen, leading the Rockstar car and the Citroen as well. Well, who'd have thought that at the start of the race? Thomas Häkkinen was Finnish Rallycross champion last year, and that really deserves some merit in its own right. Finland, world famous for producing some of the best rally and rallycross drivers in the world, if not the best rally and rallycross drivers in the world. And for this race, it's Thomas Häkkinen. Per Eklund probably very proud in the pits after that one. He takes the win. Tanner Faust second, Liam Duran third, and Andreas Eriksson sadly didn't finish that race. Well, what a great race that was between all the supercars. Well, this is the B-Final for the supercars. Tanner Faust makes the front row of the B-Final. We just saw him win that race, so he's obviously doing very well indeed. Ludwig Hunsbeth Frode Holter in the other Volvo as well, composing himself on the line. Andreas Eriksson, strangely in the B-Final, not out there at front. So, at the moment, it's Tanner Faust gets the drop into the first bend. Frode Holter, I tell you what, Frode looks like he was in front of him there, but choose to take the long way round first time. Timo Timojanov is up there in the Citroen. Good to see him in the B-Final in his first race. Ludwig Hunsberg, a great effort as well to get into the B-Final on his first ever weekend with the Volvo, and he actually takes... no, he doesn't. I was just going to say he takes Timo Timojanov, but overcooks it going into the bend. That leaves Tanner Faust and Timo Timojanov out there to fight it in the front. Andreas Eriksson fourth at the moment, and Frode Holter, very surprisingly, more experienced with that Volvo than than the fellow Scandinavian, but he is actually out there at the back at the moment. So Tanner Faust for the second time round still leads Timo Timojanov. And don't forget, the winner of this race, with it being the B-Final, will actually be put onto the back of the grid for the A-Final, which we're going to see in just a few moments. They're absolutely going at it tooth and nail here. Timo Timojanov would love nothing more, and he does. Look at that for a passing move. I mean, that's a little bit of a bump, but in all honesty, that's what rallycross racing is all about. He takes Tanner Faust on the top bend. That is a surprise, because Andreas Eriksson's team cars do seem to have had much more horsepower this week, and they seem to be able to run everybody. I can only think that was either a small mistake by Tanner Faust or fantastic driving from Timo Timojanov. Tanner Faust decides to go quit while he's ahead, take the long way round and see where he comes out. He's not going to come out anywhere near where he wants to be. Andreas Eriksson now second, and Frode Holter is third. Well, and last at the moment is Ludwig Hunsberg. Tanner Faust overcooks it, going round that bend, and loses even more ground to the two in front of him. Oh, what a move by Frode Holter. Let's see if Andreas Eriksson can take him round the inside. And look at that for a bit of racing. Swapping paint, swapping positions. Oh, dearie me, rallycross really is that good. I'm going to lose my voice at this rate, in all honesty. Oh, Frode Holter takes him on the inside as well. Tanner Faust overcooks it coming down the hill. Sorry, that was Andreas Eriksson, not Tanner Faust. Tanner Faust is right behind him. There we go. We get a perfect bird's-eye race driver's view of the two in front battling it out. That's his teammate, Andreas Eriksson, he's trying to get past and swap paint with at the moment. There you go, and gives him a nudge as well. How cool is that? And Frode Holter is still second at the moment. Out in front, a superb job for the new boy into this division. That's Timo Timojanov. Oh, it looked like Andreas Eriksson almost stopped there. Tanner Faust gave him a whack up the inside and took the position back as well. Well, it really has been a knockdown drag-out race this time round. Still out there in front. There he is, the man in the Citroen. I bet the whole team and Kenneth Hansen are going to be real proud of him this weekend if he can get into the A-Final. Look at that. He really does do such a superb job. Takes a bit of the track with him as well. But comes out in front of Frode Holter. Timo Timojanov is out there in front from Russia. Second, Frode Holter from Norway. Third, Tanner Faust from the USA. Fourth, Andreas Eriksson from Sweden. You can't say it really isn't international rallycross. Superb racing. And, well, it looks like, yep, Timojanov is going to join his teammate, Liam Duran, in the A-Final for the Supercars. What a fantastic effort in his first weekend. Frode Holter a battling second. And Tanner Faust very battling with his teammate third. Andreas Eriksson fourth. And bringing up the rear, Ludwig Hunsberg. Still great effort for the first weekend with the Volvo C30. OK, it's time for the A-Final for the touring cars. Lining up here, that's number 4, Lars Eivind Enneberg from Norway. A real tough competitor, to say the least. Derek Tohill as well. Where's the number 1 from last year from Ireland? That's Cone Powers, used to race in what was Division 1, what is now the Supercars. And Derek Tohill looks like he's away from the line first, going into the first bend. Indeed he is. And getting a nudge up the inside. But, no, it doesn't make any difference. Lars Eivind Enneberg, no, he does. Derek Tohill almost stops and drops 2 places. Unbelievable. Lars Eivind Enneberg, what a gift for him. The only thing I can think, and this is speculation, that Derek Tohill might have actually missed a shift, because he really did drop back 2 places very, very quickly indeed. So Lars Eivind Enneberg out there in front. Roman Kastrov from the Czech Republic second. And Derek Tohill for the moment is third. Well, what a big surprise. He doesn't normally make any mistakes at all, gives nobody any chance to get past him. That's David Norgard from Norway. And currently Roman Castro is holding, the champ, I was just going to say, this time round he decides that's Derek Tohill to go for the long way round. Just to say, the touring cars are the touring car class, if you like, of rallycross. And Derek comes out right alongside Per Magnaroyrus and takes really the long way round, nearly loses it and bumps into the side of him there, loses a couple of places. And Derek, oh my goodness, having an absolute nightmare in this A-Final. Bit of bad racing luck that time around. I was just going to say, these are the touring cars, if you will, of rallycross, and they are actually 2-litre rear-wheel drive cars. And they are very quick and exciting to watch as well. So still at the front at the moment is Lars-Ove Nenneberg, followed by Roman Castrol. And what an absolute nightmare for Derek Tohill. I think he may have stopped. He's not even running anymore. That's Per Magnaroyrus, the man that got round in front of Derek. They've already been on their Joker lap. This man out front, Lars-Ove Nenneberg, hasn't. But I'm sure he'll be coming in very shortly. But he's got such a big lead, well, over the other drivers that haven't had their Joker lap, shall we say. But doing very well indeed this afternoon. That was Cone Powell's going around there, former Division 1 driver. And Lars-Ove Nenneberg takes the final corner and makes the journey all the way from Norway. Very worthwhile indeed. Takes the win. Roman Castrol in second. Cone Powell's got third. Per Magnaroyrus fourth. And David Norgard fifth. Derek Tohill unfortunately dropped off the end of the charts. And there's a quick replay of that incident as well. And let's hear from one very happy driver from Bergedrum. This is Cone Powell.
I get a little bit anxious there with 3 cars on one line, but I managed to keep my third place there, and I'm very happy for that.
Well, very happy Belgian man indeed. That's Cone Powell. His first weekend racing in the touring car class. And with a big Belgian flag on top of the celebratory bus going round here at Lydden Hill. And this is the Super 1600 A-Final. Almost no stopping this man today. That's Andreas Bakkerud. And he lines up alongside Julian Godfrey, Zdeněk Šermak, Ulrich Linnemann and Christian Petrakovic. We've seen all of these earlier on today. There's Zdeněk Šermak from the Czech Republic. Ulrich Linnemann from Denmark. Here we go then, into the first bend at Lydden Hill. Who is going to make it first? Well, it's Andreas Bakkerud in there, and 3 of them straight away go for their Joker lap. That's Christian Petrakovic nudging into the back of the Skoda. And, well, that's not going to be a great end to the day, to be honest with you, if you take your Joker lap straight away and you go into that bend last. So he's currently dead last. He's 6th. Number 3, that's Andreas Bakkerud. And right behind him again, Ulrich Linnemann from Denmark. And doing the traditional 3-wheel. Oh, look at that. And unfortunately, Linnemann goes way too wide on that corner. And a really nice passing manoeuvre there from Julian Godfrey. Julian, pretty famous engine builder in the world of rallycross, builds a lot of the engines for some of the teams out here. And great, he can certainly drive as well. So not only builds them, he races them as well. He's currently 2nd. And that time round, God, really overcooking it a bit. That time was Linnemann. And lots of passing going on as well. Linnemann just gets out in front of a couple of them, in front of Zdeněk Šermak. But at the moment, it's still all Andreas Bakkerud, the young man from Norway with the Clio, really doing well. Very composed. I won't be surprised to see him in one of the supercars in a year or 2 as well. So there he goes on his Joker lap, takes the long way around, but there's no one even close that have already taken their Joker lap. And at the moment, he's followed by Julian Godfrey. Can Julian Godfrey get out in front of Zdeněk Šermak? They're right absolutely side by side. It's going to be a battle to see who comes into that corner first. At the moment, if he can just stay there, Julian Godfrey's got it, but no. Šermak takes it. Closes the door. And they really are jockeying for position. Oh, look at that. Julian Godfrey dives up the inside. He pushes Zdeněk Černak that little bit wide. Can he get the drop down the hill? This is for second position as this is the last lap. Andreas Bakkerud looks like he's going to take it. Julian Godfrey just takes that second place. And he does. Zdeněk Černak ends up finishing third. There goes Andreas Bakkerud across the line. And what a result for Julian Godfrey. That was a fantastic race. Černak ends up finishing third, Linnemann fourth, Petrokovic fifth. But to be honest with you, a walk for Andreas Bakkerud. He's leading the championship and a great weekend for the youngster from Norway.
It was really perfect. Everything went as I wanted it to be, and everything from the start to the race, it was perfect.
It looked very easy.
It's not. I was pushing all the time, and my team boss told me that I had to push every lap. So I didn't know how it looks like, but I think it was good.
Well, it doesn't necessarily matter how it looks, it's all about the result, and he really did take that going away. So Andreas Bakkerud leads with the points lead. Right, the big one, the SuperCar A-Final. These are the quickest men throughout the weekend lining up here at Lydden Hill for all the glory. Sverre Isaksson, Liam Duran. And that's Marc Leball, the man from France, doing great this weekend. This is Thomas Häkkinen sitting in the car then looking all meaningful. Timo Timojanov out the back there because he won the B-Final. Oh, who's going to get the drop into the first bend? It is, surprise, surprise, Sverre Isaksson with the first stop, #1 Ford out there in front, headed by no one at all. That's Marc Leball in front there, and we're on board with Thomas Häkkinen doing a great job coming round that first bend there. The other two, the two Citroën drivers have already gone on their joker lap, so that could make for a great race later on. For the minute, where he likes to be out in front, Sverre Isaksson, Marc Leball and Thomas Häkkinen. It's both Thomas and Mark coming from, they didn't race much in the European Series last year, but really mixing it up so well already in 2011 at Lydden Hill. Well, Liam Duran at the moment is being headed by his teammate by the looks of it, and his teammate Timo Timojanov going all over the place, just trying to hang on to that Citroën, and he does it. So it's Liam Duran at the moment hanging out the back in 5th place. There's Thomas Häkkinen gone. You can just see him to the left of your screen there. From the in-car shot, gone on his joker lap, but he manages to come out in front of both of the Citroëns. Well, Kenneth Hansen's team being headed by everyone in this final, in this A-Final, but don't let that distract you for a moment. They're both incredibly motivated and very, very good drivers. I'm sure they can get back up there on terms. It's going to be a bit of a big ask to get back on there, up there on terms with Sverre Isaksson and Marc Leball in second. A great effort for him. Thomas Häkkinen doing a good job as well in the Saab. Oh, and unfortunately, just as I say that, commentator's curse, if ever there was one, he goes off the racetrack, comes back on again, but I think Thomas Häkkinen's got a problem. What a shame. He was running a really great third and having a fantastic weekend and afternoon here in Great Britain, but it looks like he's out. I think he's got a puncture. So Sverre Isaksson still with his joker lap to do, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem for the big guy from Norway. Marc Leball second. And, well, the two Citroëns hanging out the back for the moment. Liam Duran is still behind his teammate at the moment. Timo Timojanov doing an excellent job of keeping him at bay. But for the moment, like I said before, it is that Norwegian still out there in front. And Sverre Isaksson, after all the drama earlier on, really got it back together again. Well, that's Timojanov, and by the looks of it, yep, still out in front, Sverre Isaksson, followed by Marc Leball. And the other Frenchman, David Genet, right there as well. So there goes Isaksson. That's David Genet, but he hasn't done his joker lap yet, whereas his fellow countryman Marc Leball has. So Sverre Isaksson really not that far to go now till he wraps up, if he can wrap up his first win. He takes the long way round this time round. Let's see if anybody can catch him. Yeah, they just want to get around this part of the racetrack as quick as possible. A right and a left and back out onto the racetrack. And nope, nobody can catch him at all. And David Genet that time round took his joker lap as well. And Marc Leball just did nip in front of him. That's Marc Leball second. and David Genet in third. Those Citroën C4s, well, who'd have thought it? The two independent guys from France out in front of Team Citroën. And Sverre Isaksson comes down the hill, and by the looks of it, yeah, not far to go, and he takes the checkered flag. Excellent race for second between the two French guys, and they really have done superbly well. Marc Leball second, David Genet third. Liam Durand did get round his teammate Timothy Majanov for fourth, and that's how it looks at the end of the weekend. Sverre Isaksson cruising round with the Norwegian flag. He's always happy, but he's going to be especially happy once again here at Lydden.
My team fixed everything. We have so much problem with the car this weekend, but first time in the first time in the third, best in the A. We are best in the start of the season 2011. Yeah!
Well, I told you he's going to be happy, didn't I? That's Sverre Isaksson. And another happy man is Marc Leball right here. And he says, we are very happy to be on the podium in our first race in Europe. He's also very happy and glad that he could prove that when the engine is mounted at a different angle, traversing the car, that it can work very well in rallycross as well. And he's very happy as well. So, excellent start to the season for the rallycross guys. That's it for Lydden Hill. We move on in 2 weeks' time to Montalegre in Portugal for round 2 of the championship. We do hope you can join us again then. Bye for now.